Do you want to know, or are you asking, what do you need to say in order to get a six-figure job in Power BI? If that's your question, that's automatically telling me that you have not taken my course, Power of the BI. Shameless plug, my course, Power of the BI, can be found over at powerofthebi.com. Now, with that said, let's get started. Here's the deal. You're looking for a job, you're looking for a change in career, you're looking to pivot, or you're looking to get into something that's gonna pay you six figures, but you're not looking to go to school for it. You're not looking to go back to school, you're not looking to pay $100,000 in a college tuition, whatever the case may be, okay? And what I'm here to let you know is Power BI is the place to be, okay? So first, let me tell you what Power BI is. Power BI is business intelligence, Power Business Intelligence. It is a Microsoft product. I should clarify something real quick. I do not work for Microsoft. I do not get paid to promote Power BI. I may have stock in Microsoft. Not totally sure as of today. I do buy stock, but I don't necessarily buy it just because it's Microsoft, and don't not buy it because it's Microsoft. But I do believe in the Power BI product. It's when I say product, think about Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, Publisher, Excel, Access, if any of you guys remember the Access product. But Power BI is a Microsoft product. It's a product sold by Microsoft, right? It's not sold to the end consumer. It's sold business to business. It's a business to business. It's a business development software as a service application. What does that mean? That means that it really serves no purpose for someone walking into a retail store saying, hey, I want to buy Power BI. But for a major organization or even a small business, I mean, I've seen it work with small businesses. It's a business to business product, right? Which means it really serves serves a bigger purpose when it comes to business, and as the name itself is with the acronym BI, Business Intelligence. If you have not been sleeping under a rock over the last 2 to 3 years, you know that artificial intelligence has become the word that's used throughout, whether it's in business or whether it's in consumer related, just everyday computer talk, artificial intelligence. Well, business intelligence is basically on that same playing field, but it's about business. It's not about going in and creating a prompt and saying, hey, give me this. Now, you can use artificial intelligence. You can incorporate artificial intelligence into business intelligence. And that is where we are going as an industry. And I say we, I'm talking about the world itself as corporate industries are moving towards integrating artificial intelligence and business intelligence to make everything business-wise more relatable, more understandable, and the access to information more efficient, right? I'm not gonna go too deep into that, but at the end of the day, just understand, if you understand what artificial intelligence is, business intelligence is very similar, but it's just on dealing with business. It's not dealing with all of the other nuances of what artificial intelligence entails. Also, with business intelligence, let's bring it home to just a specific company. So say we have company XYZ. Company XYZ has data, right? It has data, and we want to be able to utilize the data, or company XYZ wants to be able to utilize the data to make decisions for the company going forward, right? They want to use current data, and most companies have massive amounts of data. They have massive amounts of data, and that's called big data. If you hear the term big data, that's what that is. Well, so here's the deal. Company XYZ has a massive amount of data. From this point, we're going to call it big data. So company XYZ has big data. And they want to take all this data that they have accumulated over the last 5, 10, 20, 50 years, and they want to make predictions. They want to be able to make assessments. They want to be able to look at KPIs, which is key performance indicators. They want to be able to create KPIs. They want to look at the KPIs, and they want to be able to make decisions based on that information. Now, some of you guys saying a KPI, you know, what is a KPI? So here's the deal. At the end of the day, there is information, right? And with that information, the company is saying, hey, we've made X number of sales. Let's just use an example. We've made X number of sales every year between September and December. Well, let's use the difference. Let's say between July and September. Every year, our sales have gone up for the last, we've had increased sales from July to September for the last 5 years, for the last 10 years, for the last 20 years. And now what they want to do is they want to take this data and they want to look at the data and they want to say, what has made what has made the sales go up, right? So basically, as Power BI developers, we take that data and then we create slipping my mind. We're creating images, not just images, but we're creating KPIs. And again, a KPI is a key performance indicator, and it's showing the individuals within the company, hey, this is why sales have gone up. Sales could have gone up because there are more. Let's say we're talking about a gas station. There are more people traveling between July and September, so gas sales are going up. The actual products within the stores is going up. The products of coffee, the soft drinks, the potato chips, if they sell sandwiches, everything is driving up revenue between July and September, and we see spikes every year. And then we see valleys every year. And those valleys could be from, let's say, January. Deep valleys could be from January to March. Reason why we've got those valleys is because, again, we're still talking about a gas station. So the reason why it's going down every year, or we're seeing valleys every year when it comes to sales and revenue, profit or whatever at this particular gas station, which is company XYZ, is because no one is traveling, right? Well, not no one, but traveling is a lot lower than it is between July and September. So you got fewer people that are traveling during this particular period of time. So of course, if there are fewer people traveling, there's fewer people, there's less foot traffic in the gas station. So the sales of coffee, the sales of gas, the sales of chips, the sales of soft drinks and water and everything that goes along with what's being bought within the gas station, those sales are lower because fewer people are traveling. So what we as Power BI developers do is we create KPIs, we create visualizations. I said images before, it was slipping my mind, but we create visualizations, and those visualizations are just blocks of KPIs, blocks of key performance indicators to say, hey, this is why sales are up, and this is why sales is, and this is why sales is down. And then they're able to make predictions about what they're going to buy at certain times and what they want to stock up on certain times, so that they won't be overstocked or understocked on certain products at certain times, and being able to make certain predictions as to we need to have more staff during this particular time and less staff during this particular time. So they're able to make certain specific decisions about the business and the direction of the business based off of understanding what the historical data is telling them that we as Power BI developers is displaying within the visualizations. Okay. Now I hope that made sense. I'm trying to keep this as simple as possible, but just understand that this is not just for a gas station. This is for any business, and definitely if we're talking about a big business. When we talk about big box retailers use data visualization and business intelligence at its best. Big box retailers have to, right? They don't have to, but it would behoove them to use data visualization as much as they can within, or not necessarily data visualization, but business intelligence, as much as they can with the historical data, so that they could be able to make certain predictions as to, even though we may have, or even though this is called this company ABC. Company ABC may not have a whole lot of clerks working the cash registers now. They may have machines and self-checkouts, but during certain parts of the day, certain times of the year, they may need to have more individuals, human individuals, at the checkout lanes to assist the self-checkouts, so that if there are issues, they can get those lines moving as fast as possible. And during certain times of the day, certain times of the week, certain times of the year, they may not need as many individuals within the self-checkout to help at the self-checkout registers. So they just may have one or two, but they need to have this information, which is business intelligence. Information is basically intelligence, or information is data, and data is intelligence, giving them the insight as to know when to have more people, less people, when to have more product, less product, when to order more, when to order less, when they're behind, where the shipment's coming from, how much to order from a particular supplier, a specific vendor, things like that. So that's what business intelligence is. As a Power BI developer, what we do, again, we create the KPIs on what is considered to be a dashboard. Now, I don't want to scare anybody off. I don't want to make anybody think that this thing is spooky. You do not have to be super smart. You do not have to be all in on what is, behind the nuts and bolts of computer programming, computer engineering, right? That's not what you have to do. What I'm here to let you know is, I'm here to let you know just that, and help you to understand that if you are in position and you are saying, hey, it's time for me to pivot. You're at work, you've been working somewhere for 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 years, and you're saying, hey, it's time for me to pivot. It's time for me to do something different. Or you're saying, hey, I need a pay increase. And the amount that you need to be increased is not going to get you to 6 figures, right? What I'm telling you is that a Power BI developer is something that you can become, and it can take you to that 6-figure mark if you're interested. If that's what's moving you, it could give you a career pivot that could give you a little bit more independence than what you may have. And when I say that, I don't want to be too vague. For instance, let's say that you're a school teacher, right? And you've been writing lesson plans, and you've been teaching school, and you've been writing lesson plans, and you've been teaching school, right? And that circle just keeps going, right? You may have 45 minutes out the day to breathe, okay? As a Power BI developer, your job is to do your job, and just do your job, right? What I'm really saying is, you can have more than 45 minutes to breathe. Now, I'm not going to go too much deeper into that. I will be 100% transparent with you. If you decide to join the webinar next Sunday, but I'm not going to go too deep here, because this is too much of a public forum. But at the end of the day, if you're looking for time, you may be able to find some time you may be able to develop time as a Power BI developer. If you're looking for an increase in pay, you may be able to find an increase in pay that you're looking for as a Power BI developer. But again, the transparency will come in the webinar. I'm not here right now just to tell you all the things that is Power BI and what's accessible to you. What I want you to do is join the webinar next Sunday, and we will get you all the information you need. So here's the deal. One, if you're interested in just learning more about Power BI, I've got a free webinar that's coming up next Sunday. I've had webinars for the last 4 weeks. Some of you guys are like, hey, you know, I've already participated. I've already given you information. I keep the webinars super, super small. You know, this is not a money grab. I keep the webinars super, super small because individuals may have questions, and I want to make sure that I'm able to answer as many questions as possible. So I keep the webinar super, super small. When I say super, super small, I'm talking about anywhere between 15 and 50 individuals at a time. You know, getting over 50, it really gets, it can get kind of convoluted. So I try to keep it small so I can get to answer as many questions live as possible, and then answer as many questions directly via email or via text that I may not have gotten to during the live session. But with that said, that's a broad analysis, if I could use analysis. That's a broad analysis as to what Power BI is and what Power BI does, and what a Power BI developer does. I want to give you some idea. As to, you know, how to, when comparing salaries to a Power BI developer. And again, I mean, here's the deal. I do believe in higher education. I do believe in college. So I don't want anyone to say, you know, Tarad doesn't believe in college. Yeah, I believe in college. I went to college. I do have a higher degree, a degree in higher learning, if that's what it is. So I do believe in college, right? But what I am going to say is, you don't have to go to college to make six figures, right? You can become a Power BI developer. You don't have to go to college to make six figures. Now, you can go to college and get a computer science degree, a computer information degree, information technology degree, some type of technology degree. But at the end of the day, what I'm gonna tell you is, as a Power BI, I can teach you to be a Power BI developer, and you can be working side by side with someone that's been in the industry for 5, 10, 15, 20 years and still be a darn good Power BI developer. And you know, I'm really hyped and excited that I used the term darn right there, because I like to curse, okay? Doesn't mean I'm a bad person, just means I just get kind of excited when I curse, but I'm trying to stop cursing, so I just use the word darn. You know, pat myself on the back for doing that. If I slip up and say something, please charge it to my head and not to my heart. But at the end of the day, I just use the term darn. And I feel pretty good about that. Matter of fact, I might say this clip and just say darn, 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 darn. Anyway, but what I'm saying is, I do believe in higher education. I do believe in college. I'm not knocking college. I'm not saying don't go to college. I'm not saying you have to go to college. What I'm saying is, if you're choosing not to go to college and you want to make a six-figure, you want to pivot into a six-figure career without going to college, this is where it's at. Okay, this is where it's at. Okay, and it's real simple. The reason why is because if you see here, I searched for what is it? Top professions that pay six figures. And when I went here and I looked for it, when I Googled top professions that pay six figures, a computer programmer was the first thing that came up. An actuary, a data scientist. Now here's the deal. I work side by side, or I have worked side by side with individuals that are computer programmers that are Power BI developers, right? A computer programmer, you can Google what a computer programmer is. It could be a whole range of things. A Power BI developer is very specific. So if your question was, you know, what tech job could I get to make six figures? Because people that are out here now, they're saying, hey, get into tech, you know, I can teach you tech. Bottom line is very specific. What tech job can I get into to make six figures? I'm saying a Power BI developer. Are there other positions out there that you can receive, that you can jump into as a tech, into tech right now and earn six figures without a college degree? And the answer to that is absolutely, absolutely, absolutely yes. There are other positions that are out there, but what I specialize in is Power BI. Okay, what I specialize in is Power BI. So I don't want to mislead you. I don't want to mistreat you. I want to tell you the truth, and you could be working beside a person that went to school for a 4-year computer programming degree and make the same amount of money that they make. Now, I'm not guaranteeing that. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, because I'm just not going to. But what I'm telling you is, listen to me. We can be a little bit more transparent again during the webinar. Here in this particular segment, I don't want anyone to take what I say here and chop it up and then remix it and then pretty much try to challenge what I'm saying or dispute what I'm saying, because of the way that I may phrase the information out here on the World Wide Web. But again, when we get into the webinar, we can have those transparent conversations. But as you see here, I Googled what jobs pay six figures. Of course, I could have went to AI, ChatGPT, but I went to Old Friendly, and Old Friendly popped up. My Old Friendly is Google. And here we've got a computer programmer, actuary, a data scientist, and a Power BI developer. Today, pretty close to what and what. And with that said, I'm not gonna say. Well, yes, I am. So I have a couple of certifications when it comes to Power BI, when it comes to AI, when it comes to data science. I have several certifications. Now, what I'm going to tell you is the only thing the certification means that I've taken a test. I've taken the test and I've passed the test. So when you get a certification, to me, the only thing the certification tells me is either I know how to either I'm a good test taker, I study hard to pass the test, or somebody gave me the answers. Again, I'm gonna say that a different way. Given that I have certifications only thing certification means to me, and I can say this because I have certifications. I've got certifications I'm a certified Power BI developer. I'm a certified AI. Forgot what the actual, was artificial intelligence something. I forgot what the exact title is. I'm a certified data engineer. I'm a certified fabric engineer. So I've got certifications, so I can say this. I've got, I think, at least 6 or 7 certifications. I don't even remember how many certifications I have. But I can say this because I have certifications. I've got the receipts of what it takes in order to have certifications. And I will say this out on the World Wide Web, okay? The only thing the certification tells me is that I am a good test taker, or I studied hard to pass a test, or somebody gave me the answers. That's the only 1 or 3 things happened there. Or I got lucky and I just guessed. Okay, so that's 4. Either I got lucky and I guessed, somebody gave me the answers, I'm a good test taker, or I studied hard and I passed the test. It does not mean that I know any of the skills that I passed the test in. I don't care what anybody says. Okay. And if I was a hiring manager, I would hire the person that has skills and knowledge over a person if I had 2 candidates, one that had a certification and one that actually could demonstrate the skills and knowledge, I'm hiring the person that had the skills and knowledge all day. Okay, certification means nothing to me. I got certifications pretty much just because, I'm an overachiever and I just wanted certifications. Now, with that said, looking at these 6-figure jobs, a financial manager, a marketing director, a chief executive officer. Now, what I will say is a financial manager, a marketing director, a chief executive officer, an engineering manager, a nurse practitioner, an airline pilot, an anesthesiologist, a dentist, a lawyer, a pharmacist, a physician, and a physician assistant. Maybe not the physician assistant, But all of the others are pretty much mandatory to have a college degree. Pretty much mandatory to have a college degree. Now, also what this is telling us that they're making six figures. But outside of the physician assistant, everybody else is pretty much mandatory to have a college degree. Unless they start at the company or they have now when I say start at the company, a financial manager, marketing manager, chief executive officer, engineering manager. If they started the company or if they were hired on by family members or friends to take on the role, they may not have. But you talking about big businesses, you talking about corporate companies, big corporations, Fortune 5, Fortune 1000 companies, they all have college degrees. I'm going out on a limb and say that, right? What I'm also going to say is as a Power BI developer, you can work for a Fortune 500, a Fortune 10, a Fortune 5. I'm talking about a Fortune 5, not a Fortune 500. I'm talking about a top 5 company. You could be a doggone good Power BI developer within any one of those companies and be making six figures. Guaranteed. Coming through my course, Power of the BI, you're going to be more than qualified in order to be able to do so. I guarantee it. Now, when I say six figures, I'm not talking about $250,000, $300,000. I'm talking about somewhere between $105,000 to $110,000, right? That may not be nothing to you. That may be peanuts, right? You may say, hey, I said six figures, and I need to make 150. This right here is not going to get you 150, okay? My course, Power of the BI, is not going to get you 150. It's going to get you on average 105, 110, maybe 120, 130, depending on who you're interviewing with, what you're interviewing for. But on average, you're talking about 105, 110, right? You are going to be solid 105, 110. Now, again, that's average. Can you get 90? Yeah, you could. Can you get 115, 120? Yeah, you can, right? But just understand that, if you're looking for the 200,000, now within the webinar, if you decide to join the webinar, again, I'm going to be totally transparent, and there are some ways that could happen. Don't want to put that out there here again, but there's a lot that we can talk about in the webinar. It's like that we are going to talk about, and some of the things you're not going to believe, and some things you're going to be like, that can't be real. I'm not going to tell you anything that I don't know and that I haven't witnessed, right? But in this particular case, what I'm here talking to you about right now is there is an opportunity if you are looking to make a career pivot. Okay, when I say a career pivot, that means you've been in corporate America maybe 2-3 years, or you've been working in an industry and you're not necessarily considering yourself a corporate America type person. You may say, hey, I'm a receptionist, I've been working in the plant, I'm an assistant, whatever the case may be. Or you really, you've been in corporate America, for 2-3 years, 5-10 years, 15, 20, 25 years, and you're saying, hey, it's time for me to do a career pivot, right? It could be for something new, or it could be, I need more money, okay? And what I'm saying is, if 105, 110 is more money for you, this is where it's at. Power BI is where it's at, and my course, Power of the BI, can get you there. Again, that's not something I'm guaranteeing. It's all about the individuals, about how hard you want to work and how much you put into it. But you're gonna get what you put in is what you're gonna get out. And what I'm telling you is that I know that this works, right? Power BI development does work. Let's see, what have I not? See. Power BI developer, average coming out, Power BI developer, I don't say coming out because he's not in school, but it's about 105 to 110. We've compared it to other professions, ages of Power BI developers. So some of you guys are saying, hey, I'm 40, 45, 50 years old. I don't really have time to learn anything new, or I'm scared to learn something new because I'm trying to learn tech at 40, 45, 50, and that's not something I've been doing. Listen, here's the deal. What I can guarantee is this: Power BI is coming to your industry, to your company, to your profession, to your job title. Power BI is coming, and it is coming fast, right? It is coming fast. It may not get to your company, it may not get to your job title for the next 3 years, but it's coming, baby. It's coming. And if you're ready for it, you're gonna be great. If you're not ready for it, you're gonna be finding yourself a new position. All these people out here that's saying, oh, AI is taking jobs, AI is gonna do this. Listen, I'm not telling you to go learn AI. I am saying, if you're working a position, BI, business intelligence, is coming, right? And you're gonna, at the end of the day, the world is gonna be looking at BI and AI, and they're gonna all be the same thing. They're gonna say, oh, well, the artificial intelligence took my job. No, artificial intelligence didn't take your job. You weren't ready for the changes that were coming, okay? And what I'm saying is, you can prepare now for the changes that's coming down the pipe, or you can start preparing now and being able to make pivots and jump ahead of what's coming down the pipe. I could beat that horse all day, but if you're not picking up what I'm putting down, you might not be ready for Power BI and business intelligence. But what I am going to say is that age is only a number. If you've got the will to put the work in, you're gonna get it out. Now you say, well, how long is it gonna take me? Is it gonna take me 4 years? Is it gonna take me, 3 years to do this? No. My program, Power of the BI, is a 16-week course. That's 4 months, and if you put the work in, you're gonna be able to get done in 4 months. If you say, hey, I've got other things going on, life is happening. Yeah, you could get it done in 6 months. You can do it in a year, right? But what I'm telling you is, in 4 months, you could be able to transition yourself to a brand new you. I'm gonna leave that there. You say, well, hey, is Power BI, is Power of the BI free? Absolutely, absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's not free. Okay. Nothing that is worth having is free. Okay. Now, if I'm telling you that I can teach you a skill that's going to be able to earn you a 6-figure salary, what makes you think that I'm going to teach it for free? Absolutely, absolutely not. Now, when you look at these professions that you're looking at here that pay 6 figures, when the majority of these professions, we say you've got to go to college to get a 4-year degree. You're finna spend $100,000 to make $100,000. Let me say that a different way. You're about to spend $100,000 to make $100,000 if you go to college. Again, trust me, I'm not knocking college. I 100% believe in college. I'm actually paying tuition right now for my kids, right, to go to college. You say, well, why are you paying tuition for your kids to go to college if you can teach them this skill set to learn Power BI? Because this ain't what they want to do. This ain't what they want to do, right? There are other things that they want to do. Do I think that this would be a better would I think this would be an easier route financially for me? Yeah. But I don't want to deter my kids from doing what they want to do because I did what I wanted to do. But what I'm telling you is if you're trying to do something different, this works, okay? And if comparing the cost of a 4-year degree, which easily could be $100,000, easily could be $100,000, especially if you're talking about going to a private institution. Okay, if you're going to a private institution, if you're saying, hey, I want to go to a private institution to to take computer programming, information technology, something like that, you could easily be spending $100,000. You could say, hey, I want to go to one of the major Ivy League schools to do so, to learn this deal, right? It's going to be more than it could be about double. It could be about about $150,000 in order to learn. Okay, I'm telling you what I know. I mean, I'm going to leave it there. It could be that amount of money. But the cost of learning, the cost of this program is roughly $5,000. You sign up for the webinar, and of course in the webinar, I'm going to give you a discount for joining the webinar or signing up via the webinar. I'm not trying to tell you that. So here's the deal. In the webinar, I'm going to give you, I'm going to teach you how Power BI works in the webinar, and then I'm going to say, hey, if you give me the permission to share my course with you, because at this point I'm about to share the information that it takes in order to join the course. And for those that want to drop off at that particular point, you can drop off, because I don't want to make it seem like it's a sales call or a sales webinar. Okay. And then I'm gonna give a huge discount. I'm not even trying to hide that, right? But everybody that wants to learn Power BI, I'm going to teach you Power BI during the webinar. Then I'm going to ask you for your permission to share the course with you. And for those that don't want for me to share the course, at that point, you'll be able to drop off. Okay, it's no spooky to it. I'm giving you how it's going to work. But when I talk about price, because I know people are like, it's all about this, a money grab. No. I am teaching you something where you can earn six figures, whether you want it or, you just want time, whatever the case may be. But here's the deal. When I compare the cost of my course to that $100,000 that you're going to pay over the course of time to go to a private university, or maybe $30,000 or $40,000 to go to a public university, or if you say, hey, I'm going to take this data science certification program at one of these major institutions, Ivy League institutions, and it may only cost you, let's say, $30,000 or $25,000. I don't know how much they cost, but I know that there are certification programs for data science and IT and stuff like that. We're talking about fractions. And we're talking about the return on the investment. The return on the investment for this course. Let me say it a different way. If you take my course, Power of the BI, the return of the investment you make in your first paycheck. Let me say that a different way. When you get your first check, you're going to be more than doubled how much, I don't want to mislead anyone. When you get your first check, you could potentially double what you paid in order to join the course. Simple as that. Okay. So that's what it looks like when I compare tuitions. When I compare tuition to the tuition of a major university to the tuition or to the cost of participating in my course, Power of the BI. Now, as I said before, I have been holding these webinars for the past, I want to say 6 weeks. I've been holding these webinars for the past 6 weeks. I have 2 more webinars that will be coming up before I take a break and then just go gung-ho in the course. Again, the reason why some of you have received invitations to join the webinar, and you may have signed up several weeks ago to join the webinar, but I've been inviting individuals on a first come, first serve. I've been inviting individuals on a first come, first serve basis. So those that have dropped in the comments, whether it be on one of the other social media channels or on this particular social media channel, and let me know that you wanted to participate or join the webinar. I've invited those individuals first, and now I know that we are moving into the last couple of webinars, and we have slots left definitely for this one that's upcoming next Sunday and the following Sunday. I know that there are a lot more slots available because there's just a lot more slots available for 2 weeks out. But with that said, I do want you to join. I do want you to not necessarily join a club, but I do want you to participate in the webinar. At least understand if you participate in the webinar, and when I say participate, I mean sign on, join on, and let me show you how to use Power BI, or let me show you how Power BI is used, and then how it could potentially affect your industry, your company, your job title, and how you can benefit from it. Then I would definitely encourage you to in the comments, comment learn in the comment learn, and I will get you over the link to participate in either this Sunday's webinar or next Sunday's webinar. Just comment learn, and I'll get you that link so that you can participate in the Power of the BI webinar, where I will be teaching you how Power BI is used, how it's affecting, or how it could potentially affect the industry that you're in, the company that you're working for, and the title that you are currently working under. So, with that said, I think I've covered a whole lot here. I hope I didn't scare anyone off, but at the same time, I hope that I didn't not give you the information that you probably could use in order to better, not say better yourself, but to the information you can use in order to make a determination as to whether this is a great opportunity for you to make a career pivot. Whether you're looking to get a job to where you're working from home, you're able to work hybrid, you're able to make six figures, you're able to travel while you work, you're able to, maybe even keep your kids while you work. It's a whole plethora of things that could benefit you as a Power BI developer. I hope I didn't oversimplify what the position is, because it's really not a simple position, but I've tried to create the course just as I learned the course and as I taught myself Power BI. I built the program around the tools that I use to learn Power BI. Now, of course, like when you're in a 4-year school, whether you're in high school or whether you're in college, you take a lot of different classes. Some classes you need in life, or you find that that you don't need, that you will never use again. And many times, it's a reason why you take the classes. But for the most part, why do I need biology? I'm not going to be a doctor, right? And then say, you're in college and you're taking, sociology. Why do I need sociology or psychology? I'm not going to be a psychologist. The way that I've built this course is that there is more than just building dashboards that's going to make you a good to great Power BI developer. Understanding the history of Power BI, understanding the psychology of how the dashboards should be built. All of that comes into play, right? So you're not going to get it into this course and be like, oh, all I'm doing now is building a dashboard. No, it's a lot that goes into this that's going to make you a good to great developer over a 4-month a 16-week time period. Now, I'll be totally honest. If you go in and you go balls to the wall, you can complete this course within 8 weeks. Okay, I know you can. It can be done. I've seen it done. Okay, you can complete this course in 8 weeks. But the main thing is to understand is you don't have to rush through it. You've got 16 weeks to complete it. And if you say, hey, my job is in jeopardy and someone is going to shut my job down and I've got to get through this thing quick, I think you can get it done in 8 weeks. I do think you can get it done in 8 weeks. The certification piece, that's another arm in this particular program. I don't teach the certification piece in this particular program. I teach you how to become a good to great developer. Then if you decide to go to the next level and take the certification piece, then I get you into the certification piece. That's a whole nother ballgame. Again, what I want you to understand is that just because you're certified don't mean that you're a good to great developer. That just means you're certified. That means that either somebody gave you the answers, you're a good test taker, you studied hard for the test, or you guessed and got the answers right. That's all that means being certified. Now, what certified does for your resume, it does add a little icing to the cake. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna take that from you. It does add icing to the cake. This person is a good to great developer and they're certified. It's a great deal. Anyway, I'm not gonna beat this dead horse anymore. I do encourage you to, if you're interested in a career pivot and moving into tech, but you're not exactly sure what it is, I'm encouraging you to at least check out Power BI. I'm holding a free webinar next Sunday, and I'm holding a free webinar the following Sunday too, but really today I'm holding a free webinar next Sunday. Come and learn, and I'll send you the link to register for that free webinar, or you can follow the link in the description, and it'll take you straight to registering for the webinar. Those that register via following the link, I'm not gonna lie to you, you're gonna get first dibs because the link is taking you directly to the registration. Whereas to learn, I've got to get the link to you, and then you've got to register. But either way, between this week and next week, not this week, but next Sunday and the following Sunday, you will be able to participate in the Power of the BI webinar. Again, come and learn. I'll get you the link, or just follow the link in the description. But anyway, not to take up too much more of your time, I look forward to seeing you win again in the next video.